Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Good morning. So this morning I want to talk about how do we support somebody with Crohn's disease, either it being a friend or a family member. What are the do's and don'ts of supporting somebody with Crohn's disease, colitis, IBS? I think it all falls in the same category. I've made a list of a few points on do's and don'ts that I want to share with you as my personal experience. And before I get in too far into that, if you haven't already checked out my playlist on what Crohn's disease is, or my playlist on treatments of Crohn's disease, I'm going to post a link right now at the top of the screen so you can check that out. So if you click it right now, it'll get you there. Now if we get back on topic of what are the do's and don'ts of supporting somebody with Crohn's disease? What do we do and what do we don't do? So here we go, let's start. I'm going to read off my paper a little bit, so please be patient with me. Don't tell them they shouldn't be eating something. Don't tell us what we should or shouldn't be eating. Crohn's disease is different from patient to patient, and only us as a patient know what we can tolerate and what our disease will allow us to tolerate and what it will not let us tolerate. So it's different from patient to patient, and honestly, if we're tolerating it and we're eating, that's a good sign, and just let us eat. Don't be upset if plans get canceled, changed. Our fears in our disease is unpredictable. Now, this can happen quite often where we make plans and we bail because, you know what? Maybe our bowels are acting up that way. Maybe we just sense it and we have a fear that our bowels are going to be acting up that day. Regardless, we are going through a lot. And if we cannot make it, then there's a reason behind it. It's not that we don't want to attend, because we do. We do. And then most of us probably feel guilty for not going. I know I do. But if I cancel my plans, it's for a good reason. Either I'm nauseated, or either I'm not feeling well, a headache has set in, or my bowels are acting up. Either way, there's a reason behind it. Don't make us feel ashamed for our bowel issues. Don't make inappropriate jokes, or unless the person is comfortable with it, but please get to know that person first, because it could be really embarrassing, and it's the worst if somebody brings up your bowels and you're not expecting it or you're not comfortable with it. It's really embarrassing. Don't openly talk about our bowel disease unless we're ready for it. I said that. Don't make us feel ashamed for our bowel issues, like, oh my god, that was so gross, or like, we already know and we already feel bad enough for it and embarrassed enough for it that we don't need it to be any worse. Don't tell us we should follow certain diets. I hear this a lot, and there's not one diet that's going to cure Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease doesn't work that way. It is different from patient to patient, and unless your doctor has prescribed you a certain diet, there's not one magic diet that's going to fix Crohn's disease. Yes, there's diets that you can go on when your disease is acting up, or if you're about to have surgery, but those are prescribed by a doctor. That's not what I mean. I mean all these fads, all these diets that claim that they can cure Crohn's disease. Because it's different from patient to patient. Not one case of Crohn's disease is the same. So what one person can do is not what the other one can do. So how can one diet fix all of it? It just doesn't make sense. Do's. Do encourage us to keep doing the things we once loved. In the midst of everything going on, we could feel depressed, and if we stop doing the things that we once loved, it's going to make it worse. It's going to make the depression worse. So please do encourage us to keep doing the things that we once loved. Do encourage us to get some fresh air and exercise. I'm saying Encourage, not force or make us feel bad for it, but encourage us to get some fresh air. If we feel that we can't make it out of the house that day, then there's a reason behind it, and maybe our bowels are not allowing us, but please do keep encouraging us to try and get some fresh air or some small amounts of exercise. Be patient with us. We are going through a lot physically and emotionally, so please continue to be patient with us. Be supportive and be a good listener when we do open up. Just be a good listener. We are venting. We need to vent. We need to get it out, and it's good therapy. Do encourage us to up our water intake. We should be upping our water intake, especially if we're having bowel issues. Help us ensure we get enough rest. Rest is super, super important. So please help us make sure we are getting enough rest. Help us minimize our stress or reduce it. Stress is the #1 trigger for Crohn's disease. So please help us minimize, reduce, or eliminate our stress. Very, very, very important. I cannot stress this enough. Stress is a killer. Stress is Crohn's disease #1 trigger. So don't stress us out. I hope this list of do's or don'ts of supporting somebody with Crohn's disease helps. There's more do's and don'ts, but these are the bigger ones I could think about and the more important ones that I could think about. Not that the other ones are not important, but these were just the main ones that I felt would be more appropriate for the video. Thank you for watching my channel, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.